help promote. Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Yours
Well,
could be very vast too.
I know. Be like a quite the collage back here.
I think that's what I'm going to do is try to do some sort of collage that sits in the background more subtly,
Hmm.
and kind of that way I can fit more things in, but it doesn't look gaudy
Yeah, yeah. That
and
looks clean.
overwhelming. But yeah, I mean, because I talk a lot on Zooms all across the country, so I just think it's good to promote,
Hmm.
what we're doing. And so is your puppy?
She's fine.
What's your puppy's name?
Luna.
Luna. What
Mark
kind
and
of
I
dog
were
is she?
they're both mutts.
Oh, okay.
Mark and I were trying to chat on Monday night, and my dog had eaten a diaper, and I was at the emergency vet trying to get her to regurgitate said diaper.
Oh my
Also, we're
goodness.
live on YouTube, so this is exactly what I'm talking about, the random things.
Oh, you're already
We're doing
live?
so well.
I just go, I just go, hey, we're thriving over here in West Virginia. Yeah, I just go a couple of minutes early.
Oh.
It's funny.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Well, we
resume.
love our puppies,
We do. She's perfectly
Mhm.
fine. That she's perfectly fine, and
Ah, that's
it
good.
seems like we got through it. So, good old Luna. All right, let me go
Yeah.
ahead and resume recording. All right, people are joining, and then the waiting room has been disabled. So whenever you are ready, you're good to go.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Monthly LinkedIn Lunch Series. This is a series meant to highlight a process or resource that's available to entrepreneurs through a spotlight speaker, followed by a question and answer session. So if you have any questions, drop them into the chat as we're speaking or save them for the end. Today we have Mark Burdett, who is the Deputy Director at the West Virginia Small Business Development Center. And I will kick it over to you, Mark.
All right. I want to try to share my screen here. It's a pleasure to see everyone on here. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your all's busy schedule to spend a few moments with us. And all right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as Emily said, just welcome again. Thanks for you guys wanting to learn a little bit more about the SBDC. Again, my name is Mark Burdett. Um, I'm the Deputy Director of the SBDC and Network Builder for West Virginia Business Link. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm from West Virginia, born and raised here. Happy to still be here in West Virginia. And later in my career here, I'm really focused on helping entrepreneurs getting connected to the resources that they need. So, a little bit here in the first 15 minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about what the small business impact is in West Virginia when it comes to small businesses, how you guys play a role in whatever you're doing when it comes to your business. I want to talk a little bit about the SBDC and what we do, and then want to open it up. I want to spend time to be able to interact with you guys and answer any questions that you guys have. So, real quick, I think most people know this, but I always like to share it. The majority of businesses in West Virginia are small, and with nearly half of all employees are work for small businesses. So it plays a really big role. And one of the things that people may or may not know about the SBDC is we only have three criteria to work with folks. You have to be federally legal, meaning whatever business you're engaged in, less than 500 employees, and a for-profit entity. And this is a breakdown a little bit more granular as far as the employment size for West Virginia businesses. And this is another thing I love to highlight, just how important it is for small businesses and especially those that are startups. Since 2019, 70% of all net new jobs are created by small businesses, and nearly As far as the young firms, firms that are under 50% make up almost half of all net new jobs. So this is really important because I think a lot of people don't realize just not only the big picture about small business, but how important it is to foster an entrepreneurial community to support those startups because they are creating those jobs. So here's how we work. I briefly touched on it. We're partly funded. Half our funding comes from the SBA at the federal level, and then the state kicks in a match, which they're required to since we're part of that program. And this is a breakdown of our where we're located across the state. We're basically in 3 different regions, but we have 14 centers, which means 14 full-time business coaches, and we have 4 part-time spread across the state. And these are the 3 categories of businesses that we serve that kind of a breakdown of the most recent year where our time is going. So we spend 43% of our time working with folks that have an idea that want to start. We help kind of go through that process and help determine is there a market for what their idea is. We work with startups, folks that have actually pulled the trigger, have got their business registration through the Secretary of State, and are in that first year of launching their business. And then nearly half of what we engage in is existing businesses, businesses that are more than a year old. We deal with businesses that have been in business for over 20 years. So it doesn't really matter where you are as far as the age of your company, we can work with you. So we do 3 things. We try to break it down and make it real simple. We do business coaching, which is one-on-one, confidential, no cost to the client at all. We provide training, and then we provide access to resources, and I'm going to go into each one. But one thing I do want to highlight, we put a lot of emphasis here at the SBDC on professional development. All of our business coaches are cybersecurity certified. All of our business coaches are AIU certified, which everybody knows AI is kind of the latest and greatest thing. So we're trying to stay on top of that technology. So if you guys encounter needing help with that we can at least assist and help you, point you in the right direction. And then nearly half of all of our business coaches are certified business advisors. So we're very happy about that. So this kind of gives you a snapshot of some topics of the types of services that we offer, marketing, funding, and I really want to, and business planning, which is we do quite a lot of and help folks with their financial projections, getting them ready to receive capital, whether it's a microloan, SBA loan, grant funding, doesn't matter. Any type of capital, we can help you acquire that. But obviously, disaster recovery, that's kind of been on the top of our minds here lately with all the flooding going on that's impacted the north central part of the state. So we work close with the SBA, and our coaches are trained on how to respond and interact and get you guys connected with those resources. I like this chart because it kind of brings it home. It shows you the 3 different types of markets that we serve with the expertise, folks that are at the beginning level all the way through experienced entrepreneurs and across the service spectrum. This is how we work with our folks. Now, the training, we've got several different things that we highlight with our training offerings. One, we direct a lot of our clients to our online business fundamentals course. This is if you're especially new to business, this is a great place to start. So we funnel a lot of our prospects and folks that are wanting to connect with a business coach. We encourage them to do this first. And then we also do our own custom trainings that are curated by our business coaches. And then we also partner with SCORE and, SBA does trainings from time to time. And SCORE is another resource. That's another SBA funded program that offers free training. And some, I think they started charging a little bit. It's very nominal, but I think they've backed off on that a little bit. But SCORE does have a really good library of on-demand training. So I encourage you to check them out. This year, our new partnership is with Verizon. This is another training offering. Verizon is a company that's really stepped up and wanting to support small businesses. And how they're doing that is through their Small Business Digital Ready program, which is a training platform with over 60 to 70 different training options for you, going across the spectrum of needs of entrepreneurs. And the cool thing is they're all delivered by business owners. So I think it's great. We're very excited about our new partnership with them, and would encourage you guys, if you're looking for training and you wake up at 2 o'clock and you want to go through figure out how to start that business. We've got a huge library of opportunities for you to get plugged in. I'm sure we'll share these slides, but you guys can register, and it's completely free, doesn't cost anything. And I do promise you that Verizon will not call and try to sell you anything, because that question has been asked. One major opportunity that's still left from Verizon is their $10,000 grant opportunity. If you sign up with the link, take 2 eligible courses or workshops or events, you can qualify your business to participate in a monthly grant opportunity for you to get some $10,000 worth of cash. So the nice thing is, once you do that, make sure you complete it successfully and fully, and you will automatically be entered in each month. So they're giving away $10,000 to 10 businesses between now and the end of the year. So if you're interested, I encourage you to do that. One of the best kept secrets, where we're trying not to make a secret anymore, is our market research, access to market research data. We subscribe to IBIS World and Vertical IQ. All of our coaches are trained on this tool, on both tools. So if you are thinking about going into business and you're needing some market research data to support and to qualify that market opportunity, I highly encourage you to reach out to one of our coaches to be able to tap into this to kind of help you work through that. It's also great for existing businesses that are looking to expand into other markets, or maybe you're working on a new product or service and you need that data to support your efforts. We have access to these tools and encourage you to get connected. So 2 of our statewide opportunities and resources is our Intech program and West Virginia Business Link. Our Intech program is, if you guys are involved in technology in any way, shape, or form, we have a dedicated person. Mary Hott is our Intech manager. She can help you get connected to SBIR and STTR opportunities. And if you do get a grant through that process, the state has some matching funds that they can kick in. So that's a great opportunity for tech entrepreneurs that we can help. And then Business Link. This is a online service that's provided by the SBDC in partnership with the entrepreneurship ecosystem to connect entrepreneurs with over 175 resource partners across the state. And here's our team: myself, Leah, I think Leah's on the call, and Dawn. We're here to help you not only take advantage of what we have here at the SBDC, but we're also want to make sure you get connected to the other resources that are across the state to help you in your business. And lastly, I wanted to kind of hit home about the impact that the SBDC has, and we're doing our best to kind of get the word out here, because I think it's very impressive. Over the past 20 years, we've helped West Virginia businesses access over $500 million worth of capital. We're very proud of that. and which translate based on the funds that we get to be able to operate the SBDC. For every dollar spent, we return $17 in capital to our clients. I think another secret, best kept secret, is our cost per job is less than $5,000 per job, which is unheard of. And on average, for the past 14 years, we've helped companies hire over 380 people. So we're one of the few state agencies that have these type of metrics that we track this and can justify our existence, and we're very very proud about that. So this time, I think I hit it. I'm under 15 minutes. So I wanted to make sure to leave enough time to answer any questions that you guys have. And here's my contact information. If you just Google Mark Burdett, you can find me. I'm pretty easy to find.
That's great. Thank you, Mark. I do have a few questions to kick off the
Yep.
Q&A, and if anybody else has anything, feel free to drop it in the chat there and we'll read those. So how do we become a client of the West Virginia SBD? So you gave the requirements, but how do we get on board?
Boy, that's a good one. I totally forgot how to do that, right? I should have
Yeah.
put that in there. So it's real easy. If you go to WVSBDC.com, at the very top, there's a big button there that says Become a Client. You just go through giving us your name, email address, a little bit of information about what you're doing, and then sign our client agreement that you have to do, that we can't engage you until you go through that process. You will be presented with all 14 centers across the state, and you just look through there and find which one's closest to you, and sign up through there. And once you complete that process, that coach will get notified and get in touch with you to schedule your first meetings.
Great.
Yep.
And are there requirements to be considered an active client of the West Virginia SBDC?
Considered an active client?
Mhm.
I'm trying to, if I think anybody that we work with within a 6-month period is considered active, and then they become inactive after that point.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as, let's say you haven't even started a business, you have an idea. You don't necessarily have to have a registered business yet, because you're still trying to flush through that. So if that's maybe what they're talking about is being active, we can help those who are going through that process.
Okay. Do companies registered as foreign companies in West Virginia qualify for your services?
Yes, if they are, yes. So let's say they're a business in Ohio or surrounding state, and they're opening a new location in West Virginia, and that's the intention, then yes, we can help them. Otherwise, they need to tap into their SBDC in their particular state. All states have an SBDC, and territories, a U.S. territory, so it is a national program.
Okay. What would your advice be to entrepreneurs that might not feel comfortable asking for help?
Good question. What I've always relied on, and that I found successful, is to connect with other entrepreneurs. That's what I would encourage you to do. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out to us, some people are, because we're attached to government, there might be some, folks that are leery or whatever. We do not report you to the tax department. All those crazy things. I know people, those are real concerns people have. And so no, everything we do is confidential. We don't report. But I would encourage you to get connected with an entrepreneur in your community. That would be my first step, and then also connect with the entrepreneurship ecosystem as a whole. Contact Amber.
Okay. How do coaches start a dialogue about being a service provider to the West Virginia SBDC?
Say again.
How do coaches start a dialogue about being a service provider to the West Virginia SBDC?
Well, coaches, when they actually get a new client, they schedule that first call, depending on, what the need is. They kind of go through a diagnosis process, understanding their background, their experience, what market opportunity they're pursuing. So it's really that first call is kind of getting to know that person and what they're wanting help with. Um, so yeah.
Okay. And then we have a follow-up for that one. Larry says, I mean, how do they select their coaches and how does a coach get
Oh,
to
okay.
that? On the service
Sure.
provider side, it sounds like.
Yeah. So we like for people to connect with coaches that are in your area. So if you're in Morgantown, I know Larry, wherever you're from, we can get you connected to the person in your area. That is generally the easiest and quickest way. You can work with any of our coaches. So once you connect with a coach and maybe whatever you're working on, one of our other coaches has more experience in that area. Our coaches do a great job of collaborating with each other. So there's a lot of co-coaching going on. Because we have a really good understanding of what our skills and experience of our coaches are. So and they rely on each other to whatever it takes to help that small business.
Okay, thank you. So the chat says,
On how to become a coach. Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think it's not how do you get connected with a coach, it's how do you become a coach or a service provider within the West Virginia small business development, like the opposite side. How do you become somebody that works with entrepreneurs?
Gotcha. Well, here at the SPDC, there has to be an open position. So we are fully staffed at the moment. But we do obviously folks retire or move on for whatever reason. So we do occasionally have openings. So you would just keep an eye on, keep plugged in, subscribe to our newsletter, connect to our socials. That's where we do all of our marketing to get the word out if we are hiring. And then if you're wanting to become a resource partner, with the greater entrepreneurship ecosystem, I would say get in touch with Amber. She can definitely help you get connected to that.
Can I ask a question around something that Mark said at the
yeah.
beginning of around eligibility? Mark, can you talk a little bit about federal legal? So there are
Yep.
some instances where something might be state legal, but not federally. Can you just provide some clarification on that?
Yeah, sure. So, like, I always like to use the marijuana, example. Like in some states, it's legal, but it's not at the federal level. So we kind of take it on a case by case basis. But typically, if it's not federally legal, even though it may be legal in our state, since we are federally funded, half of our funding comes from the feds. We have to abide by that. So that's when, but don't be afraid to ask. Doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily you're doing like, bad illegal stuff. But
Can you give some
we do come in contact with that, more times than you think.
Can you give some examples of the types of businesses that you all help with and what those specialties might be that you were referring to? Like
So
what industries?
yes, well, the full gamut of the NAICS code, the North American Industry Classification System. We track all that. We do a lot of retail, construction, manufacturing, tech companies. I mean, there really hasn't been a business that we have not come in contact with, large or small. A lot of our coaches, happy to say, a lot of our coaches are current or former business owners. We put a really high emphasis on that and actual preference when we look at hiring coaches. We think that is a very important thing to do, because if you're coming to get help, I think it's important for someone that's sitting across from you to have been there and done that and been in your shoes before. And I think that provides a better experience in dealing with our folks. So, good question.
And as far as access to the different, the mentorship and the trainings,
Mhm.
are they all just a hybrid of that virtual and in person, or are there in person trainings? Do you have to be in person to meet with the coach? Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, all the above. We can meet virtually. We can meet you at your facility, and you can meet us at our center. So it's really whatever you're most comfortable with. Our coaches are, ready to serve in whichever capacity. I would say the bulk of the interactions are at the client location and virtually, just because of COVID. But people still do come to our centers as well. We provide a safe, secure, and confidential space at each of our centers. So I think that's important to, highlight with how we offer our services.
Good. That is all the questions that I have. Does anybody else have any follow-ups? I think we'll call it there. That was great. Thank you so much for being on today, Mark.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.